Here's more wrestling news for November 8th, 2022. And we're starting off this afternoon with WWE, who held their annual Crown Jewel event last week, marking the 8th show as part of their decade-long deal with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The show saw Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, and Brock Lesnar all win big, but the unquestionable biggest winners are the WWE themselves. As WrestleNomics calculated this week, WWE has earned an estimated $400 million from their past 8 shows in Saudi Arabia, equivalent to $50 million per show. To put it into perspective, if you added the cost of all tickets for all 38 WrestleManias, that number would be $250 million, a whopping amount, but nowhere close to these 8 Saudi shows. WWE's Saudi shows have proven to be controversial with fans, given the country's treatment of women and LGBTQ+ people, but with the amount of money WWE is making, we doubt the company has any plans to end their agreement early. Whether fans like it or not, the Saudi shows have proven to be incredibly profitable for WWE, and that's not the only metric that is making these shows worthwhile. That's according to Sean Ross Sapp, who reports that after Crown Jewel, a memo was sent internally within WWE claiming that last week's show was the most viewed international premium live event in WWE history. The record had been broken just months ago at the WWE Clash at the Castle show in Cardiff, and while these shows may be still wildly controversial with fans, that hasn't stopped people from tuning in around the world. Yesterday, we reported on Nick Aldis, who has made it clear he plans on leaving the NWA when his contract expires in January 2023. Aldis has been openly critical of NWA's booking as well as company president Billy Corgan, and now the Smashing Pumpkins star has fired back. In a press release sent to PW Insider, the NWA disclosed that they have suspended Aldis from the roster effective immediately, and he won't be at this weekend's Hard Times pay-per-view. When PW Insider reached out to NWA COO Joe Galli, they were told that this isn't a storyline and that Aldis' contract will expire soon, as the Brit had stated. The issues between Aldis and Corgan got taken to the next level when Nick was removed from the NWA 74 main event earlier this year, and while some speculated it was part of an angle, that isn't the case. Since the NWA relaunched in 2017, Aldis has been the company's top star, having 2 world title reigns that surpassed a total 1,300 days, but it appears his last few months will be spent on the bench. With Aldis' time in the NWA coming to an end, he'll soon be an extremely hot free agent, and one that companies will no doubt be interested in. Of course, Aldis can't sign elsewhere until his current NWA deal is up, but we may already know where he's going next. When fans said they'd love to see the British wrestler in WWE, specifically for a feud with Karrion Kross, the former NXT champion said, "I'm game," and Aldis responded saying, "Me too." Aldis has competed in various promotions, but is yet to have a match for WWE, something that could change next year. At 36 years old and with an impressive physique, the former NWA and TNA World Heavyweight Champion certainly has a look that would go down well in WWE, and it remains to be seen if he gets a call from Triple H when the time is right. Earlier this year, Gabe Sapolsky was fired by WWE as part of backstage layoffs of people who had worked with Triple H, but was recently brought back under the new regime. The founder of Evolve and co-founder of Ring of Honor, Sapolsky now works as a talent scout for WWE, and he's been on the hunt yet again. Fightful Select reports that Sapolsky was spotted at a recent Prestige Wrestling show in October, and while Gabe hasn't confirmed why he was at the show, it's believed he was looking for new talent. Prestige Wrestling is home to some immensely talented stars, and was recently home to Mia Yim earlier this year prior to her WWE return, so perhaps Gabe spotted a future WWE World Champion at his recent trip to the Indies. This year, WWE has been more open to stepping through the forbidden door and allowing stars from other companies to appear on their shows. This began way back at the Royal Rumble, when Mickie James, the Impact Knockouts World Champion at the time, appeared in the Women's Royal Rumble match. After Mickie was announced, some thought that perhaps WWE would allow an AEW wrestler in the match, as that company is home to several former superstars. WrestleVotes reports that WWE never wanted anyone from AEW to be in either Rumble match, despite what some believed at the time. Speaking about the men's Rumble match, it was reported that then CEO Vince McMahon was presented with a list of male wrestlers from outside WWE, but he didn't think any were big enough stars to appear. It's said that McMahon may not have even recognized the wrestlers on the list, implying that they weren't former WWE superstars who were presented to the chairman. We don't know who was shortlisted for McMahon, but we do know that the Royal Rumble will be happening soon, and perhaps Triple H, Nick Khan, and Stephanie McMahon will allow more wrestlers to step through the forbidden door. In August, WWE announced the launch of NXT Europe, which is replacing NXT UK and is expected to launch at some point next year. The new project is a massive undertaking by WWE, and now Triple H has provided more information about the upcoming brand. Speaking during a recent investors call, Triple H described how NXT Europe will replicate the success of the US-based NXT brand, saying, "Europe evolves and grows once we bring that back, and I think we will begin to see it replicating a bit more of what you see in the US. It's very difficult for us to find athletes, bring them to the US to begin training. It's a very long process for us. We can get them into Europe in a much quicker fashion and get them training much quicker, much faster, and have success in a shorter period of time." There's no word yet on who will be part of NXT Europe, though several names released during the Cuts to NXT UK have said they'd be open to returning if the deal was right. NXT UK may not have been the biggest show, but it did have success by producing the likes of Gunther, Butch, Alba Fire, and more, and we'll have to see what the future holds for NXT Europe. Over to AEW next, as Jeff Hardy hasn't appeared for the company since June due to being arrested and charged with driving under the influence. This is Hardy's third DUI arrest in 10 years, and could see the former world champion face some serious jail time, and he will soon have his next hearing. PW Insider reports that Hardy's next hearing is scheduled for November 18th and reiterated previous reports that Jeff has entered a not guilty plea. Tony Khan has said he supports Jeff getting the help he needs, as Hardy has entered rehab, but this will be his one and only chance to improve as part of AEW, and we'll keep following this case for further updates. Back to WWE, and Sasha Banks has been a megastar for the company for years, but fans haven't seen the boss in nearly half a year due to her suspension. It's been reported that Banks is close to returning and even trained with CMLL wrestlers this week, but WWE is already looking to the next generation. Speaking with Louis Dangoor, WrestleVotes has stated that many in WWE have been impressed by NXT's Cora Jade and have said that she is en route to becoming the next Sasha Banks. It was added that everybody loves Cora, and that Triple H himself is said to be of the opinion that she could be a star like Banks if booked correctly. Cora Jade has been in NXT for a little over a year, but has already done plenty, including a reign as NXT Women's Tag Team Champion and a heel turn on her former partner Roxanne Perez. Last month, Jade appeared on Raw in a backstage segment with the Judgment Day, and while there's no confirmation on when she'll have a full main roster call-up, expect a lot of big things in the future of the next Sasha Banks. And we're ending today with Crown Jewel, which saw plenty of stars appear, but US champion Seth Rollins wasn't one of them. It had been reported by others that there had been plans for a US title open challenge in Riyadh, but that simply isn't true. When Ringside News asked their sources, they were told that there were never plans for Rollins to appear at Crown Jewel, and blasted other reports as fake news. While fans in Riyadh would have loved to have seen Seth in action, that simply didn't happen, and was never going to, despite what some have claimed. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.